Brigade sitting here with me. He also doubles as a deputy youth organizer of the National Democratic Congress, Osman Ayariga. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you, my brother. And good evening to your cherished listeners. And if you are online or Facebook, your cherished viewers, right?
Very well, very well. I trust you're doing good. Must be tired.
I mean, if you're fighting for the liberation of your country, you shouldn't get tired, because it's the tale of the thief and the thief catcher. So once the thief is not tired of running, you, the person who is in pursuit of the thief, you don't have to stop running. You know, the tale of the gazelle and the leopard. If one decides to get tired, he will either be eaten or one would not have a meal to eat. So the tale of, I mean, we trying to catch a thief, so we cannot be tired. So.
Very well, very well. Even before we get into today's picketing or protest, how's the campaign going? And last I heard of the flag bearer, he was somewhere in the Bono region. Correct me if I'm wrong.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the flag bearer of the NDC, and the incoming president of the Republic of Ghana, inshallah, after 7th of December 2024. He took his campaign to the Bono East region, where I think as of today, they're around Kwame Danso. That's somewhere, I think they call it Far East within the Bono East region. I think he'll be wrapping up that of the Bono East today and go into Bono region. So the campaign is doing well, but we needed to be in Accra to protest against corruption and thievery and bloated contract that has led to looting of state funds. So the campaign is doing extremely well. The people are receiving him with all the enthusiasm and all the joy. And we believe that come 7th December, the good people of this country will look at their current situation. They say it in Chi, they will look at their sitting name. Yes.
But that was John Kufuor's slogan back in 2000, I think.
Well, it's a language, so you can use it as and when you choose to use it. Our city name is a language. It doesn't belong to anybody. It's a language. You can choose to use it as and when. So we are just reminding the good people of this country that they should look at their current conditions and vote appropriately and vote right. And we believe that if the good people of this country look at their current situation, the hardship, the suffering, the pain, the desperation, they would vote wisely and vote His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to be the President of the Republic of Ghana.
Operation Recover All Loot Brigade, Oral. Tell us about this brigade.
Thank you very much. You know, we in the NDC, we do not tell you that if we do everything today, what will we do after we win power? This is a promise, or this is a policy in the NDC's manifesto, that we are going to recover all loot that has been looted by this current administration. So the youth of this party and the youth of this country have always advocated that let us fight corruption and make sure that people do not get away with looted funds. People of this country, young people of this country, see all forms of loot. Now, before I even go into today's picketing and why we went out today, I just want to thank the young people of this country. There are over thousands of people that came out today organically to register their displeasure on the suffering, the looting, the stealing, the thievery, the corruption that is happening or currently experienced under this administration. I want to thank the young people of this country that came out, the young people of this country that took pains out of their pockets to be able to attend that mammoth walk and mammoth picketing. I want to thank them so much. And to the other millions who were out there who couldn't come and who were following online also, I want to thank them so much for their immense support, especially those who posted on Facebook, those who were advocating, those who hosted us on Twitter Space. I want to thank them so much for their time and also their support. Now, with the issue of Oral. Oral was coined from the policy Operation Recover All Loot. And the next NDC administration is promising the good people of this country that whatever it is that this current administration, MPP administration, has looted from this country, whatever it is that they have stolen, be it state lands, be it through contracts, be it through properties, state properties, etc., etc., we would institute this operation to make sure that all of it is recovered. So the young people of this country and in this party have bought into this idea of Oral. So we came up with this group called Oral Brigade. And this brigade is to start unearthing all the rot and the loot in this country. And we are demanding, not just to expose it, but we're also demanding that this current administration take necessary action and steps to make sure that most of these bloated contracts, we are able to either stop them, we are able to abrogate them. There should be a value for money auditing. There should be some recovery of some loot within these contracts. So basically, that is what this group decided to do today. And we have set time with our number. That is not just a one-off thing. This is going to continue even beyond the elections. We are going to go after government officials who decide to loot, government officials who may even decide to loot after they have lost the elections. We will go after each and every one of them. So
including your own party folk.
Absolutely. If you are in NDC and you decide to loot, we'll come after you. Remember, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said that if you are in my government and decide to do any corrupt deal, I'll just hand you over to the appropriate institutions and they'll deal with you. He's not a clearing agent like Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He stated it emphatically when he met the young people at the Bukum Boxing Arena. He stated it. So if our flag bearer is saying this, meaning that he has emboldened people like us who are crusaders fighting corruption to make sure that we are able to kick everyone who decides to engage in any corrupt activities. So that is what this group will be doing. And it's not just going to be a 9-day wonder. It's going to continue and continue and continue. It's going to live beyond expectation. And that is what we're going to do as the Oral Brigade.
So, but where have you been all this while? Did it have to take a manifesto promised by the flag bearer of the NDC to get you to organize yourself and begin the series of protests?
Well, we have always been organizing so far as the NDC is concerned, or the youth of this party is concerned. We have always been organized. This is not the first time we've organized to fight corruption. You remember the issue of BOG. It took the youth of this country, although it was spearheaded by the NDC and Ayariga, it took the youth of this country to spearhead it. Remember, there have been many demonstrations, there have been many petitions. I personally, Osman Ayariga, as a person, I petitioned the Office of the Special Prosecutor on the issue of scholarship, the sale of scholarships, and the issue of corruption within the Scholarship Secretariat. And I must also use your medium to say that I haven't had any response from the Special Prosecutor, and that will be my next, within the week, I'll write to the Special Prosecutor to seek clarity why I haven't heard from them. And in their last report, when they published all the cases they investigated, I didn't see the case of the Scholarship Secretariat. Sorry that I had to digress a bit, but let me come back.
That's all right.
Yes, so this message is sent to the Special Prosecutor. If he's listening, he should take notice. If any staff of DS is listening, they should take notice that I'll be coming back to their office to seek information where they have got into, so far as that my case is concerned, the case of the Scholarship Secretariat. Yes. So you would agree with me that the fight against corruption didn't just start today. And we as young people, we've always fought it in different ways and different names. Yes, the acronym Oral Brigade may have just been birthed, but it doesn't mean that we, the actors who have fought corruption, this is not the first time. We also had so many press releases, press conferences in various groups. But this time around, we are coming under the umbrella, under the auspices of Oral, because we have bought belief and understand the policy of John Dramani Mahama with regards to Oral. And that is why we come under the name Oral to help propagate the good works of the Oral and how we are going to fight corruption when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is elected as president.
Right. Tell us about today's protest and how it went.
Yes, today's protest was peaceful and successful. Why do I say peaceful and successful? We came out with a common goal and a common interest, with a common objective, of course. And, I mean, you and I understand in this country when one says he's going on a picketing. Picketing, ordinarily, people expect small numbers. And when you say demonstration, people expect larger numbers. Yeah. So today wasn't a demonstration. It was supposed to be a picketing. But to our shock, surprise, we rather experienced very huge numbers. That made it even look more than a demonstration. The numbers were huge. Are
you able to put a figure to the numbers?
Oh, I couldn't count them. There were over 3,000 people came
over
out.
3,000?
Yes, over 3,000 youth. I mean, you can look at it. You can watch the videos. You can go back and watch the videos and see the numbers that came. Over 3,000.
3,000 is quite a number.
Yes, 3,000. We filled the entire street of the ministries, not just finance. We filled the entire stretch of the ministries because we believed. I personally believed. Oh, we're just going to get about 100 or 200 people to go and present our petition, but Upon reaching there, or upon arriving there this morning, I realized the numbers kept coming, and it was organic. I just didn't know where the people were coming from, and it was just through social media mobilization. We are having a picketing. If you're interested, let's meet here. Let's meet there. We're going to the Ministry of Finance. So I thought it was just going to be some 5 minutes exercise. We just go, we present our petition to the Ministry of Finance, and we leave. But we realized that the numbers kept coming and kept coming.
What was the converging point?
We converged at the National Theatre.
Okay.
At the National Theatre.
And from the National Theatre, what numbers did you have? From
the National Theatre, I want to believe we had half the number, about 1,500 people.
Although you were expecting just about 100.
Yes, yes. So at a point, I kept saying, let's move. But the people were like, no, they think more people were going to come, so we should wait. Otherwise, if people come and they don't see us, they may just get confused, or they won't know, or they will think that, okay, the petition wasn't going to happen, so we should leave. So we kept waiting, and people kept coming from all sects, all angles, all directions, all locations. And this is what I want to talk about, because we realized that this was a natural gravitation of young people who are angry at the current dispensation, who are angry at the current happiness, who are naturally angry at what is happening so far as corruption, stealing, theft, greed, looting is concerned. So this wasn't like a party program whereby you know that, okay, this is an NDC program, but this, you see young people who do not really identify with any political party. The Gen Zs, the young people who were excited that people are stealing our money, and there are young people out there who are ready and willing to fight for us, or young people who are ready to unearth this rot. So you realize that there were so many young people coming out there, and I really want to send so much appreciation to the young people out there, the Gen Zs, the young guys who were out there trying to mobilize through social media, hyping it on social media, that come on, let's all get on board. It may not affect us directly, but stealing affects all of us directly. Because, times pass, when we say a demonstration, people usually want to demonstrate on issues that personally affect them. Example, maybe cost of fuel, cost of food, etc., or taxes that affect them directly. So for you to have young people believe that they needed to fight this SML contract or this Auto Ghana Limited contract, they realize that people have gone beyond the personal issues and believe that as a country, you need to fight for what is rightfully yours as a country. Because if you do not fight for Mr. A and they take Mr. A, the next day when they are coming for you, Mr. A will not be there to fight for you. So I just want to thank the young people who came out there. So we converged at the National Theatre. Then we walked towards the Ministry of Finance. So by then, the police were already expecting us. And I remember in our letter to the Ghana police, we told them that we're just going to pick it up at just 200 of us. And even the 200, we felt that was an overestimated number, because usually you don't want to go beyond what you estimate. So we told the Ghana police we're just expecting 200 people to pick it. But by the time we got to Ministry of Finance, we were well over 3,000 people out there. So I've seen on some media outlets pockets of, disagreement between the Ghana police and some of the Protestants. I believe there was a barricade where the Protestants didn't understand why they were being blocked, because the barricade wasn't towards the entrance of the Ministry of Finance. The barricade was on the main road. So the Protestants felt that, come on, we are walking in front of the Ministry of Finance. We are not entering the Ministry of Finance, because it's only our leaders that were going to enter the Ministry of Finance and present the petition. But the police felt that for the sake of security, if we allow you to go beyond that, people may just push into the Ministry of Finance. So we had to come in.
Which is legit.
Yes, I agree. So we had to come in, leaders of the Protestants, and speak to them. So I had to come in and calm them down. So they were calm, and we stated our position clearly, that we're not going to be disrespected. We're not going to present a petition to a security man or anyone below a certain rank. So we told them that we're expecting either the minister or the deputy minister to come out and take our petition. Otherwise, we're not living there, because we are already jobless. So we don't mind sitting there the whole day. It's going to be the issue of Ministry of Finance workers who will be unable to come out. And we didn't mind sitting there the whole day. And so at the end of the day, we're going to punish the Ghana police, of course, by sitting there the whole day, and also punish the workers of Ministry of Finance who were in there working, because there's no way they were going to come out. So I think the police commander I don't know his position, but it's called Mr. Ahin. So he went into the ministry and he combed and came back to inform us that honestly, the minister wasn't available. The deputy ministers were not available. So we said, okay, we're going to sit there and wait. Wherever the minister is, he should come. Wherever the deputy ministers are, they should come. So then they said, yes, so I'm coming to that. So that was when they said the minister was out of jurisdiction and the deputy minister wasn't in Accra. So, but we had information that the deputy ministers were there, but upon hearing we're coming, they decided to elope. So we said, no problem. We're still going to wait. So then the chief director herself came down and waited for, I think, almost 30 minutes to 40 minutes. So we're still insisting we're not going to present the petition to her. But she came and pleaded as a woman and a mother and said at least we should take her word that she was going to transmit the petition to the minister. So we took her word because young people, we respect our mothers and we respect women, and especially women in high position. Of course, we have to respect that. So we respected her as a woman and we saw her as our mother. We said, no problem. We don't have issues with you. You are just a technocrat. You are just a civil servant doing your job. We have issues with the politicians who are looting. But we may also have an issue with you if we realize you are complicit in all of those lootings. So she agreed and she took the petition. And we told her that we needed a favorable response as soon as possible. Otherwise, the Ministry of Finance is not far. The same way she has seen us here today, we'll be back. And this time around, as she has seen us very calm and gentle, we may not have that patience again. So she took the petition and I think she just said 2 words. She said once she has received it, she'll transmit it to the minister. The media were there. She didn't speak beyond that.
Well, of course, it's not her job to speak for the
absolutely.
So.
So we took her word for it and we told her that we may be back if we do not get the appropriate response. So there we announced to our fellow protestants or picketers that we are going to announce the next date, and the next date was for us, or the next venue is for us to picket or demonstrate towards the Jubilee House. Some may call it Julobi House. Some may call it Flagstaff House.
The details of the series of protests that you are planning. But I want to get into the petition itself today and what is contained in it. But before that also, you communicated an estimated number of about 200 to the police. And yet about 3,000, as you say, turned up. You don't think this made the work of the police difficult?
No, I believe it made the work of the police difficult. I must be honest with you. But it wasn't intended. As we were planning, we didn't plan to have numbers well over 200. Because as I said, in this country, when you mention picketing, people expect something small.
But
when
knowing the affiliation with the biggest opposition party in Ghana, did you have a contingency plan should it blow out?
Well, we had our own security. We had our own personal security to make sure that no one outside of our arrangement comes into torment or foment any trouble. Because we've seen people demonstrate in this country where people who are not really part, yes, we have infiltration. So we had our own security to make sure there were no infiltration. So we controlled our own crowd. It was just for the police to be professional, Giorgio, then we arrive at an amicable solution. So now to the content of our petition. Somewhere last week we already had a press conference and we stated clearly the issues that we were confronted with. The first issue had to do with the issue of the SML. SML contract, which has to do with revenue. Yes, with GRA, which has to do with revenue collection. And we felt that SML in itself was doing the job that GRA in itself had a capacity to do. And even though some civil societies have already taken it to court, it doesn't stop us from also protesting against such wanton stealing from the state. And I think currently, annually, they get about 1 billion Ghana cedis worth. So you realize that this clearly just has to do with an arrangement of stealing. I mean, not missing words. And you agree with me that, legally speaking, before any entity actually withholds public money, so far as the collection is concerned, it must go through Parliament for parliamentary approval and through legislation. So if you wanted SML to go into revenue collection and actually withhold a certain percentage, which is currently 3% of the monies that you are collecting or accruing, then what it means is that they should have gone to Parliament for parliamentary approval through legislation before you can even go into that kind of range. That's the first thing. And you also agree with me that when they took the issue to KPMG for KPMG to audit it, there were issues of approvals beyond parliamentary approval, also issue of PP approval, etc., etc. And we expected the president to have said that let us strengthen GRA which is our state organization or the state being in charge of revenue collection, to do this revenue collection for us. Why then would you be so interested in saying that the contract with SML should be further negotiated so that SML can make more money? Otherwise, what is it that SML is doing that GRA isn't doing? We have heard from MPA, we have heard from BOSS, we have heard from all the players within that industry, and everybody is saying directly that this contract with SML is needless and it just doesn't make sense. So you realize that there is an avenue for people to loot state resources. Otherwise, if you at City FM, you are doing what you're doing, and they just have to create another studio for someone to do the same thing you are doing and pay him extra, it means that somebody is benefiting somewhere along the line, because you shouldn't be paying two people when one person can actually do the work that these two people are doing at the same time. So you realize that
the intention of the contract was to leverage advanced technological solutions to streamline tax collection purposes and reduce leakages.
Yes, but GRA never ever complain of their inability to do the above. So it is at the time the Minister of Finance and the GRA boss at the time who now insisted that they themselves are unable to do the job. So you realize that GRA, if you watch and you read throughout these issues, you realize that GRA has never on any day stated their incapacity or they are not in the right capacity to do the same job that SML is doing. So you realize that in this country, for people to loot, they just need to create the impression that government is unable to do its job. Then they bring in a private person who then has to siphon government funds. And at the end of the day, there's a sharing formula or a coefficient
is that always the case?
Sharing. Mostly. Most of the time, that is the case.
Okay, so GRA SML is one.
One, yes. The next issue has to do with the ambulance with
the spare parts deal.
The spare parts deal. And this is the most stinking, ugly contract I have ever seen, from its inception to its execution. Now, you buy ambulances, well over $100,000. I think just a little over $200,000. If you do the competition, how much the ambulances were bought. And you want us to believe that there's this company called Auto Service Ghana Limited, which has no track record so far as maintenance of ambulances is concerned, because we're yet to see the track record. And this ambulance, this company, all of a sudden, per the figures, is going to maintain these ambulances annually to a tune of over $116,000. Let's even take the technicalities out and let's deal with it in a commonsensical position.
Very well.
Won't it be better for us to be buying ambulances every year? If you're going to be maintaining an ambulance for $116,000, then we are better off buying, instead of maintaining 300 ambulances, then every year we are better off buying another 150 ambulances, because the money used to maintain 2 ambulances can actually buy one brand new ambulance. So then we should have what we call disposable ambulances, so that after every year we just buy new ones and we throw away the old ones, because it just doesn't make.
Wouldn't you also, I mean, term that as financial loss to the state?
No, that's what I'm telling you, that if you can maintain an ambulance to a tune of $116,000 annually, then you are better off buying a new ambulance every year. I'm telling you how nonsensical, excuse my words, but I mean, we are being emotional right now, and we are being angry. We are angry with the stealing. No, we are angry with the stealing, because you cannot tell me I cannot buy a car. Example, I cannot buy a car for 50,000 and tell myself I'm going to maintain the car, a brand new car. I'm going to maintain that car annually for 40,000. It doesn't make sense. Logical, it just doesn't make sense, and it cannot be the case. That's what I'm saying, that if I am going to maintain a car, 90% of the cost that I bought the car, then you're better off buying a new car every year. So there are two things. GRA XML, yes.
Ambulance spare parts deal.
Spare parts deal. Now, and you agree with me, the reports coming from Auditor General, which expose that currently with that ambulance case, there isn't value for money so far as the contract is concerned, where ambulance service workers themselves are being
exactly
used.
What are you demanding from the ministry?
We are demanding for the issue of SML. We are demanding an abrogation of the contract, because that contract was signed with the GRA, which is
against the renegotiation.
Yes.
Okay.
We are asking for a complete halt, cancellation of that contract. The second issue has to do with the issue of the ambulance case, ambulance spare parts deal. We believe that there are still more payments that the Ministry of Finance is supposed to pay that same company. They should abrogate all further payments to that company, and they should take necessary steps through a value for money auditing to retrieve whatever undue payment has been given to that company. Yes, they may have rendered some services. Pay them for those services. They should have a value for money auditing for the services they claim they rendered to ambulance services using ambulance services own workers. There should be a value for money auditing.
Right.
They can pay them for those figures, but retrieve every undue payment that has been made to them.
Very well. What's next?
The next thing we have stated is that we're going to the Jubilee House. There are so many issues in this country that we all have been quiet about.
When is this happening?
Well, we'll announce the date to the good people of this country. Just today, we finished that of the Ministry of Finance. The organizers of Oral, we are yet to meet and agree on a date. We have agreed on the venue. We are yet to agree on the date, because when we engaged the Ghana police, I think they stated that people have applied for so many days to have demonstrations. So we need to look at that calendar and see which day will be favorable, and we'll surely announce to the good people of this country and the youth of this country. And we believe that with the issue of Jubilee House, everyone will be interested, because that is the mother location for all corrupt activities. That is the warehouse for all corrupt activities.
That's an
is
allegation
the compound
you are
house.
making.
That's
an
yes.
allegation you
Not
are making.
CTFM. I am making yes.
Yes,
That is
we can
that.
understand
Yes,
that. We
that is the
cannot prove
compound
that.
house. That is the
your
compound
allegation.
house
Well, thank
for
you so
all
much.
corrupt
Thank you
activities.
so much. I think we'll have to leave it here, but we'll be following your activities and we'll be reporting to the good people of Ghana on your activities. Osman Ayariga, thank you so very much.